How to care for Crassula muscosa. Here's a guide on how to care for your Crassula muscosa, also known as the watch chain plant. See more 220 species in genus Crassula at monsteraholic.com. Light. Thrives in bright light. Aim for several hours of bright, indirect sunlight per day. A sunny windowsill is ideal. Tolerates some shade. It can survive in lower light conditions, but the growth might be leggy and the leaf color less vibrant. Watering. Drought tolerant. Crassula muscosa excels in a soak and dry watering method. Allow the soil to dry out completely between waterings. Signs of thirst. Look for wrinkled leaves as a sign your plant needs water. Overwatering warning. Avoid overwatering, which can lead to root rot. Soil. Well-draining mix. A succulent and cactus potting mix is ideal. You can also create your own by mixing regular potting soil with perlite or sand for increased drainage. Fertilizer. Minimal feeding. Crassula muscosa doesn't require frequent fertilization. You can give it a diluted dose of balanced fertilizer once during the spring or summer growing season, but it's not essential. Temperature. Warm temperatures preferred. They thrive in temperatures between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Cold tolerance. While cold tolerant to some degree, it's best to keep it above freezing to avoid damage. Humidity. Adaptable to humidity levels. Crassula muscosa doesn't have specific humidity needs. Average household humidity is sufficient. Potting and repotting. Potting material. Choose a pot with drainage holes. Terracotta pots are a good option as they allow for better air circulation and prevent moisture buildup. Repotting. Repot your Crassula muscosa every 2 to 3 years or when the plant outgrows its current pot. Propagation. Easy to propagate. You can propagate your watch chain plant through stem cuttings. Take stem cuttings during the growing season, spring or summer, and allow them to callus over before planting in a well-draining potting mix. Additional tips. Good air circulation. Proper air circulation helps prevent fungal diseases. Deadheading. Optional. You can remove spent flowers to maintain a tidier look, but it's not necessary for the plant's health. Cleaning. Gently wipe dust off the leaves with a damp cloth occasionally. How to propagate Crassula muscosa? Crassula muscosa is known for its easy propagation. Here are 2 methods you can use. Method 1. Stem cuttings. This is the most common and successful method for propagating Crassula muscosa. Materials. Sharp pruners or shears. Well-draining potting mix suitable for succulents. Consider adding perlite or vermiculite for extra drainage. Small pots, 2 to 3 inches. Optional. Rooting hormone. Steps. Select healthy stems. Choose plump, healthy stems with several sets of leaves. You can propagate from both flowering and non-flowering stems. Make the cut. Using your sharp pruners, make a clean cut just below a leaf node, the bump where a leaf meets the stem. Aim for a cutting length of at least 2 to 3 inches. Optional. Callusing. Allow the cut end of the stem to callus over for a few days. This helps prevent rot. Leave it in a cool, dry place out of direct sunlight. Planting. Fill your pots with the well-draining potting mix. Make a small hole in the center with your finger and insert the calloused end of the cutting. Watering. Water the pot lightly to settle the soil around the cutting. Avoid overwatering. Placement. Place the pot in a location with bright, indirect sunlight. Rooting. It can take several weeks for roots to develop. Signs of successful rooting include new growth appearing at the top of the cutting. Transplanting. Once the roots are established, usually 4 to 6 weeks, you can harden off the new plant by gradually introducing it to more sunlight. Then, transplant it to a larger pot or your desired location in your garden. Method 2. Leaf propagation. While less common than stem cuttings, Crassula muscosa can also be propagated from individual leaves. Steps. Gently twist or pull a healthy leaf off the plant. Allow the leaf to callus over for a few days, similar to stem cuttings. Lay the leaf flat on top of a well-draining potting mix. Don't bury the leaf itself. Provide bright, indirect sunlight and keep the soil slightly moist. Tiny plantlets might sprout from the base of the leaf over time. Once they develop roots and a few sets of leaves, you can carefully separate them and pot them individually. Here are some additional tips for propagating Crassula muscosa. Use sterile tools to prevent introducing diseases. Consider using a heat mat to promote faster root development, optional for both methods. Be patient. Propagation can take time, so don't be discouraged if you don't see results immediately.